He hails from Southern California. He always got wisdom. Like I say, he's always had the best convention, the best promotion I've ever seen at all the conventions. And I tell you what, he's such a great leader, inspiration to so many people, not only in AC and also health-wise, mental-wise, spiritual-wise. And without further ado, the great one and only Senior Vice President out of Southern California, the one and only Mr. Bryon Nelson.
Oh man, you got a whole lot going on there, Mr. Thomas, and I guess I do too. I'm trying to catch up with you, man. So, long story short, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna ask you guys patience and love for today. I am actually been going all night and actually have to get to a funeral, so that's what's going on. So I'm like juggling a whole lot to get to my family's funeral today. So that being said, it's really more than anything else what we've been working on all week is really understanding a testimonial, and I want you guys to really get into that. I was talking to my team about that yesterday, and understanding that's what it's called. You're being tested so that you can actually have something to say. So it being the breakthrough, understanding the most powerful thing, and this is something, and I'm probably gonna have Mr. Thomas take over after about 20 minutes or so, depending on how this flows. But the biggest thing about what I've learned, and one of the things that I was sharing with my team yesterday, is there's two dynamics that are really important. I want you guys to get. We aren't looking for you guys to actually be in the business or be underneath us or following us in the business. We're looking for partners. I really want to drive that home. We're looking for partners. We aren't looking for followers. So the leaders are on the phone already understand this conversation. The people that have not evolved or owned it. If you want to know how to make money in this business, the faster you can learn how to lead is going to be the fastest that you make money. The faster you learn how to lead. And that means, you got to learn everything about leadership. So what would happen if Mr. Thomas couldn't be on the call, or Mrs. Driscoll couldn't be on the call, or I couldn't be on the call, or any of the other leaders, Dean, or anybody else throughout this week? Who would step up and be excited? And see, that's the mentality you have to have. Excited about taking over the call and having a solid conversation and unconscious competence to be able to share and teach and coach based on the experiences that you're doing on a daily and an hourly basis. See, it doesn't matter that I haven't got any sleep. It doesn't matter that I'm going to a funeral. It doesn't matter if somebody, unless I'm in the midst of something. And that's one of the things I was sharing about an interview that I was listening to a couple of weeks ago. When you understand the mentality of a professional, when you truly understand the mentality of wanting to be able to make and generate significant income, impactful income, life-changing income, when you want it, whatever that is to you, when you want to make a significant, because I don't care where you go, and if I get in trouble with this, it just is what it is. If a business does not make money, it doesn't make sense. That's what a business does. It's supposed to generate money. So if you are not set up to make impactful, significant, life-changing money, that's a professional level. And when you look at it, like, of course, those that know me know I have an affinity towards basketball. They are playing on Thanksgiving. They're playing on New Year's Eve. They're playing on Christmas Day. If you're blessed enough to be a LeBron and play in the league 18 years, that means you go 18 years without possibly seeing your children on Christmas Day. If you're blessed enough to play in for 10 years, that's 10 years you potentially will not see your family on Christmas Day and on New Year's Eve, unless you're flying them in just to say Happy New Year. And it's mentally mind-boggling how much people are not willing to sacrifice to become obsessed with their dreams, to become passionate about what they're doing. And so my message when I'm dealing with my snipers now is, I'm not looking for followers. I don't need any more people in my audience. I don't need any more cheerleaders. I don't need anybody else. This is not about the edification. This is not about us getting high on our ego. This is not about me blowing up Mr. Al Thomas. When I speak of him, it's authentic because he deserves it, because he earned it, because it's already in the books. It's documented. When they talk about me, it's not something in which, oh, he's the next, since sliced bread. that has nothing to do with me. It has to do with what you earn. Does this make sense? Nod your head if you guys understand this conversation. See, you want to earn the right that people are paying homage to you so that they can authentically testify as to how you change lives. And that is why you actually live off of someone else's story until you build your own story. And so I yelled, I literally pretty much cursed my team out this week. I'm like, this shit has to end. Forgive me. This could be on recording. I don't care. This got to end. Focus on something. Go get you 200 points. Go get you 200 prospects per week. Go get you 200 IBOs. Go become significant in something, not a jack of all trades and a master of none, and you're just a big watermelon head woman or boy with a whole bunch of information, and now you're an educated derelict, and then you leave me or any other master or leader in the game 6 months later and say, oh, I worked with that person. I know Al Thomas. No, you don't. You may sit down. Oh, well, I was with him for over 6 months. Please don't do that. I was with him for over 2 years. Then why are you still broke? That no, you sat in the audience. Maybe you were on the Sermon of the Mount. Maybe you were at the bottom of the mount. I don't know. Maybe you were circling the mount. Maybe you were hanging out with Jesus when he was talking to millions of people, or when he fed 5,000. Maybe you were one of the people that got one of the slices of bread that he multiplied, or fish. But don't say Jesus is my boy. Is anybody getting the metaphor? Is anybody following me in this conversation? Don't say you went to every sermon. You went to every Sunday sermon. You went to every church sermon, and you know TD Jakes, or you know this pastor, or this or this. No. And you're still acting like a heathen, and you're still living in scarcity thinking, and you're still broke. Now tell me you're a deacon or an elder, or you're the first lady, or you've stepped up, you've done something, but you're serving at a capacity that is irreplaceable. You might want to write that down. You're serving at a capacity that is irreplaceable. You are demanding respect. You are demanding recognition. You are demanding. There's a person who actually is in my organization. I won't go into the details, but they actually they were about to commit suicide. They're writing letters to ACN, and they a whole lot of stuff is circulating them, and I have no idea. So what happens is, this person who, when they called me from ACN, this literally happened yesterday, called me from ACN. They said, we're really concerned about this person. Now, I'm very concerned when ACN calls me directly from the office, especially when I know everybody in the office. See, that's the question. When you see, I knew everybody in the office as an ETL. Do you know who actually cuts your checks? Oh, if you aren't getting any checks, you have no need to know them. Do you know the day that they actually cuts the residual check? If you don't get one every month, you probably don't know the exact day. Do you know when all the customers have to be in? You see, these were questions I was asking, not when I hit RD. When I started the business, I was like, where are the checks coming from? How quickly do I get my check? After I get a person qualified, how quickly does the check come to my house? Is it going to be mailed? Is it direct deposit? After I put I got 5 people qualified this week. This is my second week in the business. When does it, well, what's the $3 being taken out for? Oh, cutting the check. Okay, I need to know that immediately. Is there anything else being taken out? Who do I deal with when somebody doesn't go into the system properly? Who do I deal with when this customer in this product? I'm not calling my upline. I didn't call my upline. You know why? Because I didn't have a relationship with my upline. Y'all are spoiled. I could not call my upline and see that there was a problem with the customer and say, well, what's going on with the SIM card? Well, what happened with the delivery? What's this? I was R&D. I was every department. I went directly to the company when I was a CR, whatever they call it now, qualified, whatever, CQ, whatever they call y'all, when you first get started. And I went directly, I wanted to know who's dealing with my product here. Do I need to call? Okay, we're brokered and we're partnered with this company. Do I call Vivint directly? Do I need to call IDCO directly? Where's the CEO? Where's the troubleshooting? How come this didn't go through? How come they're getting double paid here or double billed here? What's going on here? I know everybody in every department of ACN, the head only. I knew that when I first started because I was doing so much production and I was messing up, not because I was so good. I was messing up so bad. I needed to find out, how do I fix this? See here, Jesus, I hope somebody's getting this conversation. If you're working this business, you should have a lot of problems. You should be expecting a lot of problems and challenges because you don't understand what you're doing. So you should be messing up dramatically. What happens is the weak mind, I want this recorded. The weak mind goes and has 2 or 3 problems and says this thing doesn't work. That's why they need to go and keep a job. Because a boss, an employer, knows when I drop 20 grand, when I drop 100,000 for a franchise, when I open up any kind of business, there's going to be all kinds of things that I don't know about the business. I'm not going to know about the surplus. I'm not going to know about how much I need to keep on hand. I'm not going to know that that's the favorite product. I'm not going to know that employees aren't going to show up on me. I'm not going to know that people are going to quit on me. I'm not going to know exactly how to make payroll. I'm not going to know exactly that I got to get up 3 hours before everybody else and stay 3 hours later than anybody else. I'm not going to know I need to take more time and study my product and my company and my industry and become a master at this if I'm going to win, because I can't just blow off $100,000. I can just blow off $200,000. I got to run a business. Y'all running a daycare. So those that are serious about running any business, the first thing you should expect is not the profit, but the problems. I start a business. The first thing I'm looking for, I don't want all the good. I don't want all the high stuff. I don't want all the good stuff. I don't want all the dream and the fluff in the air. I already know I'm getting that. That's why I got into it. I want to know everything wrong with this thing so I can be a solution problem. Everything about business is solving a solution. It's coming up with solutions. It's a solution. A boss, a leader does nothing but find solutions. They already know they got to give up certain holidays. They aren't going to see their family on certain nights. They already know. It's like, look, anybody, and I was just one of the pieces I let my team hear the other day. I was like, look, just like anybody who marries me, it's like, look, just so you know, I'm not that 9 to 5. I'm not coming home at 6:30. You need to go get somebody else. You want somebody home for dinner time and nice little two kids and a white picket fence and the dog. You want somebody who's going to answer you all the time and have time to explain every little emotion that's going on. I'm the wrong Negro. It's not going to happen. You want somebody who's going to provide, who's going to build abundance, who's going to build generational wealth, who's going to be a leader and going to lead by example, who's going to be present when necessary and have the flexibility and have made enough that I can be wherever I need to be when I need to be there. That's who I am. But it's not going to be a convenient lifestyle. A boss, a professional, one who plays for significant lifestyles and significant money, an impactful life, lives an unconventional life. They stay up late. They're willing to take up, in between literally a no sleep night and a funeral and a full blown training. Yes, I'm not missing my call. I'm not calling myself all the time and saying, oh, I got to go to a funeral. I'm sorry. My funeral is in exactly 34 minutes. Where am I? I'm on my call. I find people that come up with some of the weakest excuses, discard them, throw my fish back. The squad I'm putting together, I want them battle tested. I want to throw the daggers. I want to shoot the bullets. I want to ask, what the hell are you doing? If I don't talk and we have a call, that doesn't mean I'm not here. I'm waiting for somebody to lead. Lead, follow, or get out the way. But if you look, I'll squash this squad, build another squad. What do we got to do? If you don't want to step up into your own and own your own life, this isn't about business. This isn't about ACM. This is about you taking ownership. It's called human equity for a reason. It's called intellectual property for a reason. It costs nothing, but it costs everything because you got to build it. That's why it's the most valuable on the planet Earth. Every system is done for you. Accounts payable, accounts billable, customer support, 17 different languages. You got a squad in which you can call them, but can somebody call you and say, hey, I got somebody right here. I need you to take care of them. And they talk and they turn them over to you in whatever city you're in. After my prospect calls you, or Mr. Thomas or Mrs. Driscoll or Julian's prospect calls you, is it a wrap? It's like, oh, they get back. It's like, look, uh, uh, I'm ready to do whatever you tell me to do. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm in. I'm doing this. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was calling you Jason. I'm sorry, Mr. Diggy. I was calling you sensational. I'm sorry, Mrs. Afarian. I was calling you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Blend. I don't know. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to call you that. I've known you my whole life, Mrs. Baptiste. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. See, that's when I know somebody's been doing the business. When I can turn somebody over to you, I turn to one Mr. Al Thomas, they coming back and their mouth is, I'm parched. I'm hungry and thirsty. Please tell me what to do. I'm ready to go. Not, oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I talked to your partner. I have a few questions. When's the next meeting? Can you send me some information? Hell no, I'm not sending you no information for a $200 business that's less than a cheap bottle of wine. Hell no. I'm sorry. I'm on one this morning. It's just really that simple. So part of that is number one, learning how to own your business. The second part of that is, and forgive me, and for anybody who hears this, founders down. What leaders can do, and what anybody has known me for over a quarter century knows, that's one thing I am. That, and here's what one thing leaders are very clear about. Leaders can agree to disagree. I disagree with the way testimonials are doing. Whoever came up with it, I hate it. And I just believe because of the color I am and where I'm from and how I came into the business, it is ineffective. If you can't reach my heart, my business won't start. I don't want to hear how many customers you have. I don't care how many IBOs you have. I don't care what system you're in. I want to know your story. I want to hear what it's doing for you. Hi, my name is Bryon Nelson. I just went through foreclosure. I met a guy named Mr. Mel Thomas. What I do know is the devil and God, they send angels because they're both angels. I mean, God sends angels and the devil sends his angels. God sent his angel, it's Mr. Al Thomas. And when I met him, I realized losing a house wasn't the worst thing that happened. Not getting my dream was. And I saw how small my mind was, that if I have to lose this house, how much bigger the house is going to be in if I decide to take ownership of my life. Let me tell you what ACN or what Matrix or what my family, the people that I met, the village I come from, because it takes a village to raise a child. Let me tell you about my village. You need to be a part of this village. And let me tell you one more thing. It's on invite only. So if you aren't serious about changing your life, I can't introduce you to this. This is why I'm in the business. That's a testimonial. I don't know what the hell everybody else is doing. And don't care, quite frankly. Run a business. Learn how to pierce a vein. Find somebody who's bleeding, clean it off, and put an ACM Band-Aid on it and help them heal by putting a comma in their bank account. It's that freaking simple. Stop making life and this business hard. Or you'll be at the same place I'm going right now, 6 feet under, and people saying, oh, I remember them. They were a good person. 6 months later, haven't even thought about it. Why? Because they didn't take ownership of their life. There was nothing significant to remember, except for they're a good mother, you're a good father, you're a good brother, you're a good friend. We're going to stop for a moment of silence for you. Unless God takes me off this earth before my time, I promise you, there's nothing but streets and cities named after me because of how I served, not because of how popular I am, not because of how many millions of dollars I made, because of how I served. I am just getting started. What are you doing with your life? I'm just getting started. No, I want cities and streets and villages. No, you're going to stop the world because of how many lives I'm committed to touching. And the only ones that won't be touched are the ones committed to following the devil. I'm complete, Mr. Thomas. I got to go. I love you guys.